Consistency is key. What is going on, everybody? It is Brendan. Welcome back to Dad Planet. So I'm bringing you another What Sold on eBay video. This week we are going to cover 15 of the items that I sold from the week of April 15th through the 21st. And I mean, it's just been consistent. It hasn't been very high. It hasn't dipped very low. It's just doing what it does, and I cannot complain. So I like the 15 items that I have in this video for you. There's some really under the radar brands that I want you to focus on a little bit in hopes that you'll find them in thrift stores, estate sales, garage sales, wherever it is you do your sourcing. But for now, let's get into the bolos. All right, let's take a look at all the key points here. So April 15th through the 21st, 2,200 in gross sales, just under 1,500 in net sales. My selling costs are right where they should be. My average sales price per item at $50 is down a little bit. That's okay. My quantity sold is consistent. Everything has been very consistent. So even with my dips, even when some of my weeks are a little bit slower, overall, up to this point, where we're at in the year, it's been extremely consistent. So the things that I'm doing, the time that I'm putting in, everything is kind of working the way it is supposed to. And these items are great. So let's take a look at these 15. All right, this big square box is just a subwoofer. There's really nothing to it. Now it does come with a sound bar. So together, if you were to sell them even pre-owned, you probably get $300. Brand new, it probably costs $400 together in the package. So $101 for this one is probably a great deal for both myself and the buyer, because I saw this at a Goodwill retail location and I bought two of them. One of them is slightly different. It's a slightly different model number, but they were both $12.99. So this buyer is $136.19 all in, and a great deal for me. I was happy to take an offer of $101. I think I had it listed for $130, but I'm happy to see it go. It got there safely. Great sale. All right, this is a pair of G-Defy VersaShock 3 comfort shoes. This is a very under the radar brand. There just aren't that many of them on eBay, but when you get them, especially a style and a size like this, they'll sell, and they'll sell for good money. So I had these listed for $40. I took an offer of $34. This buyer is just under $50 all in after shipping and tax. Very easy sale. Cost me $4.69 at a Goodwill, and this is probably the second or the third time that I've found them. So they will turn up. It just, it's not like Nike or Adidas, but if you find them, give it a second glance, because a lot of them sell for very good money. All right, this is a Santa Cruz t-shirt that should have taken a lot longer than it otherwise did to sell. I found this at the bins. It only cost me 40 cents. It was one of those things that I threw in the cart and then probably just forgot to take out, because my cart gets buried and I'm trying to check out, and I'm always pressed for time when I'm going to the bins, blah, 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 blah. But if you notice, it's a severed hand, and you notice in my title, I put severed hand as my keyword, and because of that, the views of this shirt totally blew up. And so I think that had a hand, no pun intended, on getting this sold quicker. So it's $9.34. It's not gonna make everybody rich overnight, but it was the fact that the keywords that I used really did help. Your keywords definitely matter when you are listing on eBay. So wherever you can, try to fit as many of the relevant keywords that you've got in your titles, in your description. And yeah, I'm happy this one sold. So this buyer is $13.96 all in. Again, probably cost me 40 cents. Golf season, these were a couple bucks a club, so I'm $12 into these or so. I think I had them listed for 60, and I took an offer of 45. They went to Texas, so shipping was a little bit crazy. This buyer is $91.35 all in, even after paying $45. So this might have been one of the listings that I didn't switch over from USPS to FedEx and UPS, now that they are charging a ridiculous amount for boxes this size when you're shipping golf clubs and posters and all that stuff. But everybody's happy. $91.35, 12 bucks in. Still a great sale. I am glad to see them go, because even though golf is an evergreen niche, I really want to sell that stuff now and not later. So happy to see it go. In keeping with the golf theme, I think you guys saw me source this live at the bins, so let's call it a quarter. Now, it's obviously a Ping fish hat, very vintage from the 90s, and it is a definite bolo. When you see it, grab it. And the reason I suggest you get it quickly is because this one even had a little bit of bill damage. It was sort of wobbly and cracked, but somebody bought it. I think I even shipped this overseas. So I sold it for full price, 60 bucks, and the buyer is $100.25 all in after shipping and tax and customs. At a quarter, the Ping fish hat is definitely a bolo. This is not the only style of Ping fish hat that you will see, but if you see a colorful Ping hat like this, grab it, because they're worth a lot of money. even though I found this at a Goodwill, I feel like this is going to turn up at garage sales left and right. So it's garage sale season. Look for them there. So it's just a can cooker, like one of those things you take on camping, and it is just a big open container. Now mine did have the grate piece on the inside, so that did probably help the sale. And I had this listed for $45 and I took an offer of $34. So buyer is $62.11 all in. And I wrote down that it cost me $5. I feel like it might have been a dollar or two more than that, but I certainly wouldn't have paid $10, or at least the store that I was at wouldn't have been charging $10 for this item. So a very good sale and an actual bolo. So if you're out running around doing the garage sales circuit, make sure you look for these because they will turn up. Okay, in keeping with the I'm trying to source more on online auctions theme, I found this at an online auction and I only paid $10 for it. So it's got, when you open it, it's like a drive holder, a computer drive holder. It has 4 separate caddies that hold the drives on the inside. And this one actually came with 2 drives. Now I could have checked to see what was on them. I didn't bother with it, and I disclosed that in the description. Who knows, they could have been wiped blank, the hard drives I'm speaking of, but all together, this was a great sale. It sold for full price. I had it for maybe a month, so it sold in a relatively small amount of time, and the buyer is $170.39 all in. Again, only cost me $10, and there were actually some other items, some other electronics that were in that lot that I have already sold, so there was a really good online auction experience. If you haven't tried sourcing online, it's like, I don't want to say it's like the lazy man's way to source, but it is an additional way to source. And if you can find maybe things that are local to you, or you're willing to kind of just play the bidding war game, you probably still find some good deals. In fact, I just sourced a rainbow vacuum, those 2 $300 vacuums. I just scored one for under $2 online. So give online auctions a shot if you're not already doing them. I have never heard of this brand, Moves. This seems like one of those like millions of Chinese brands that have like totally polluted the Amazon catalog. I'm not really sure, but usually when I think of those brands, I think of really low quality. This, however, felt amazing. This was like a really well-made shoe. And if you look for the active listings for Moves, there just aren't that many of them, but I was really surprised when I look it up, and trust me, I don't know what possessed me to look this up in the first place because it really looked generic and simple, but they were like in like new condition, and what do you know? I sold these for $40. So this buyer is $56.66 all in after shipping and tax, $4.70 for me at a retail store. Again, you probably aren't going to find them as easily, but no one is marking this up in the backs of the thrift stores. So this, along with like the G-Defies of the world, these are the bolos that you really want to kind of hone in on and look for when you're in store sourcing. It's the stuff that's going to slip through the cracks. It's going to make you a lot of money. So Moves, casual shoes, black, great size 12. Who knew? I'm glad they sold. Keep your eye out for it as well. All right, if you've seen the Harry Potter movies, you are well familiar with this item. This is the monster book. It is a bump and go, so you wind it up and it, like, you know, does the mouth movement just like it did and it also rolls just like it did in the movies. It's a really cool kind of like prop piece, but functional, from Universal Studios. So I had this listed for $40 and got $40 for it. So this buyer is $53.73 all in after shipping and tax. This was in one of my previous videos, like one of my haul videos. It was either $2 or $3. It was priced relatively low. Like, this is an item that usually would have like a $5 sticker on it, but what a sale, and it is definitely a bolo. They will sell both new and used, so keep your eye out for it. It's a really unique item, and you know, for a super Harry Potter fan, it's kind of like a must-have, so keep your eye out for it. Okay, this is Milkshake, a sad-eyed friend. I didn't know anything about this brand prior to. It was marked $4.99, and it's just me scanning it on my phone and realizing that there's a market for these plush dolls. Milkshake, however, I couldn't really find a ton of information on her, so I had to take a stab, and the fact that this was new in the box, I was like, let me just list this high at $50 and see what happens. So it sat for a little while, and an offer did come in for $35, and I eventually took that offer. So this sold for $35, and the buyer is just under $49 all in. And again, at $5, it was worth the risk, even though Milkshake was not an easy one to find. It was clear that the like sad-eyed friends sold well. Maybe not for a ton of money, but they definitely sell. So if you find them, keep your eye out for them. You'll see them in the plush bins for maybe $1 or $2. It would be worth looking up because you probably make some money on them. Lululemon camo hat, easy sale here. This was $1.99 at a retail store. Fast, free run, camo style. And I ended up selling this one for my full price. When I say full price, I'm referencing full price after my 50% off. So I'm asking $40 for it on the 50% off sale. And that's what it's sold for. So just to clarify that, because I've had some questions regarding what exactly I mean by full price. So hopefully that clears that up. But I got 40 for this. $46.84 is what the buyer is all in, and at $2 Lululemon, I mean, you can't go wrong. It was in basically immaculate condition. So this was a very easy sale, a very easy bolo. Not every single piece of Lululemon is going to be worth a ton of money, but I feel like their hats, especially the camo style, like there's a big enough market for it that will still command a really good price. So 40 bucks, great sale. This is an interesting bolo, and it's definitely a bolo. I don't know how easy it's going to be to find because there just aren't many listed and aren't many sold, but it's a bustier purse from Far9. Now I bought this in a lot of rock memorabilia that I spent $200 on, but if you value like it on a per piece basis, this thing was only a couple dollars. So I had it listed for $30 and I took an offer of $25.49. So this buyer is $44.20 all in. After shipping and after tax, and it is a bolo. They have a black style, they have a red style as well. So again, it doesn't turn up that often, but a really nice leather purse. This thing was basically in mint condition, like it looked amazing, and this was a great sale. I'm happy to have sold off some of the non-rock memorabilia that came in that lot, and I still have plenty left to sell. So that's one of my biggest online auction purchases to date, and hopefully you will see some of that stuff that's sold in a future video, but this was a great sale. All right, now this is a golf bag, and it's not so much that the golf bag is the bolo. So it's Orvis Bat and Kill. It's a rolling golf bag, like cylinder style, but it's the canvas Bat and Kill style from Orvis that is the real bolo. This was a great sale at $101. The buyer is around $126 all in after shipping and after tax. And you pay by the pound at the Goodwill Outlet. So this was maybe $7 or $8, but I kind of knew it when I saw it because I know that that Orvis style is a real bolo, and it's the bags especially that you want to look for, and you will see these in retail stores. You'll see them in thrift stores, and they will be priced aggressively because I don't think a lot of people are aware or even care for that matter. So this was a great sale, but look for the Bat and Kill style from Orvis, those canvas. It's a style you kind of can't miss once you train your eye for it, but great sale and a really big money bolo, kind of across the board with the bags and everything else that they make that style in. North Face thermal ball jackets are one of the items that holds up pretty well. I'm pretty hard on North Face because I think a lot of their stuff, especially through wash cycles, breaks down way too easy, where other brands, they tend to stand up. So I'm kind of hard on North Face for that reason. But their thermal ball jackets, those tend to hold up pretty well to conditions. And who knew that they had a thermal ball style mule? So that's what these were. And I saw them at the bottom of a cart at a Goodwill and grabbed them because I had never seen anything like it before, looked it up, and it's a bolo. So again, not a ton of them turning up online, but the list to sell ratio is excellent. Though these are traction mules. They were black, obviously, like that little quilted style on the side. And this buyer is $38.68 all in after shipping and tax. So they cost me $4.70, but the likelihood that these will turn up is probably a little bit less, but grab them when you see them because they are a very surprising $30 to $40 pre-owned. I fully expected this plate set, this Easter plate set from Williams and Sonoma to sell on Easter. They sold the day after Easter, but I'm happy that they did sell. So this was behind the counter in a box marked $20 at a Goodwill. It was slowly coming up to Easter, and the woman behind the counter said, listen, this is marked 20 bucks. You want to take it for 10? And I said, absolutely. So I took it, and yeah, it sold the day after Easter. Amazing sale for $110. This buyer is $131.08 all in after shipping and after tax. $10 for me. There was one slight little flaw on one of the bowls, and I disclosed that. No problem. Went to a very happy customer. They're happy. I'm happy. 15 more in the books. I hope you're happy with those. All right, my job is done. Now it's your turn. Hit up a garage sale, go to an estate sale, go to a thrift store, and try to find these items to resell on eBay. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in, and hit that like button if you liked what you saw or you learned something today, and then always consider becoming a member of the Dad Planet family by subscribing and hitting the bell notification icon so that you know every single time I upload a video to YouTube. But that is it. That is all I have for you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.